Previously on Coach Greg.
Get healthier, get hot, and get to a place where I am physically fit enough to do the activities that I love.
He was 570 pounds at his heaviest and under 500 now, so he's already lost 75 pounds. How much better do you feel now?
I've been gone from the laptop for 37 days and I'm not looking back. I'm having a really fun time being away from it.
Somebody's saying they want to see a fitness test. You know what would be awesome is if you did that 6-minute walking test, like that they did for the NMN, like the stuff in the GO2 Max, and you actually did the 6-minute walk, like how far you could walk in 6 minutes, and then test yourself out in a couple months or in a year, because I bet you could walk twice as fast. Like, I don't know, I have no idea how far. Let's say it's 800 meters or 400, whatever the distance is. I bet if you keep walking and just practice, you can go twice as far. And even if you don't do a 6-minute, like we're walking on a treadmill, I think you were going like 1.4 miles an hour. It was a good pace. We had your heart rate like in the 130 or so zone. And then how much faster you can go over time, like just by practicing and losing weight. And it would be just shocking because most people can probably double their fitness level. I think you could probably quadruple it if you lost the weight. Because like say you were half the weight you are now, you automatically can go twice as fast. It's less weight to carry. And then with improved fitness from training, it's through the roof. You would be shocked at how much healthier you could be. Because you must remember high school.
Yeah.
Like gym class, running football or what have you, basketball, and playing, and then compared to now and being like, man, if I could go back to that.
There's been this one video idea that I've been toying with for a while. Back in 2019, when I lost that 140 pounds, I did a video called How Far Can I Run After Losing 60 Pounds? It was halfway through it. And I want to go back to that, go back to the same lake where I ran around it and see if I can get further than before. Also, yeah, definitely. Back in high school, I was in good shape. Like, I remember how proud I was the first time I won a basketball game. I was like ecstatic. And me and this guy Josh, who I won it with, it was like a 2v2 game, and we high-fived each other. We were laughing and having a good time. Oh yeah.
And so for me, people say like, how do you get the motivation? I need the motivation. And I'm like, I'm going to be honest. I find it hard to even understand people asking, how do you get the motivation? Because I'm like thinking, how do you not get the motivation? Like he remembers playing basketball and how it felt. And he wants to go kayaking and he wants to do this or that to look hot. You know what I mean? Like to do all these things that we all take for granted. And so how could that not be like motivation through the roof? Like I just picture you are motivated. Like how could you not be?
I think a big part of motivation is getting yourself to be more aware of the situation you're in. Because to go back to the laptop thing, when I was on the laptop, I wasn't thinking about being motivated. I wasn't thinking about all the advantages and good things. I was just thinking about getting back to the laptop. So the thing that I recommend to anyone who is looking for motivation is first thing in the morning, what you do, you wake up and then you don't go straight on your device. Keep your phone maybe in your bedside table and like just go out and walk around your house, see what's there, see if there's any hobbies you haven't picked up in a while, see if there's like maybe an easy workout you can do at home or something that you can just get the motor running in your head before you instantly plug into your device, and that will keep you more motivated, I find.
It's some great advice because I really find it comes down to dopamine, because I think everything in life is about the dopamine. And if you're getting it from the laptop, then why would you be thinking about, I want to play basketball or I want to do this? Like, I can't wait to do my bike races. Like, I can't wait. Or if it's to go to the gym and lift weights, like, I'm so excited. But like, if I got that same feeling by winning the game, what is it called? Warcraft.
World of Warcraft?
Yeah, if I won that and then I got a great feeling, yeah, I won the Warcraft game, then why would I want to go out and win my basketball game or my bike race? Because I'm getting it there. So you have to get your dopamine elsewhere. And like Andrew Huberman will say, hey, get up in the morning and get some sunlight in. Don't drink your coffee right away, because if you need that caffeine perk, it's not good. Take it in a bit later. And then that's going to get you through the day. And then go and do your exercise a day, 150 minutes of cardio a week. Preferably if you could do like an hour of physical activity a day, it's so much better. And then that's going to lower your set point. Just doing cardio, it's going to lower how much your body wants to have for body fat. And it makes it so much easier to be lean. And so you're thinking you don't need to do cardio and you have all these weight loss experts saying you can lose the weight without cardio. Yeah, you can by starving yourself. Of course you can. But wouldn't you rather just be able to eat and enjoy being physically active, improve your heart health, and have the fun of doing the cardio? Like, that's what we got to do. You've had sticking points and struggles in your weight loss journey in the past, but how do you plan to overcome them now? Because I think failing to plan is planning to fail. He's lost the weight. He crash diet. It was like 1,200 calories a day, like starving himself. And eventually you crack. Willpower runs out. What is going to be the difference this time? Because most people yo-yo diet for years. But what is it this time that you're going to do that's going to make the change so that you don't, say, lose 100 pounds and then gain 150 back?
Well, you see, I'm coming to realize that just because you failed doesn't mean it's over. If you fall down while you're running, you can still crawl. If you slip while you're crawling, you can still wiggle along. So you just keep going until you regather your strength, and then you can start walking again. And, you just got to keep trucking until you get to where you're going.
And so what do you think is the biggest cause? Like, I know what I think it is, but what do you think is the biggest reason for like not being successful to this point? Like, what has prevented you from, and I don't mean being perfect, being like 250 pounds, but what has prevented you from, say, staying under 400?
I think a lot of self-defeatism. Like, I mess up real bad for like 2-3 days, and then I'm like, oh, I'm a total failure. It's over. I'm calling it, and I'm just going back to eating hamburgers and cheesecake, and you got to stop giving up. Just because you screwed up once doesn't mean that you screwed up forever, and that's important.
So it sounds like you fall off the wagon, and then you kind of like, you say you eat too much and you eat the pizzas, and then one pizza becomes 2, becomes 3 days straight of pizzas, then a week. Then you're like, screw it, I'm not dieting. Like, I never have that problem. Like, so I personally, I'm just being honest. I can't relate to that. I don't understand, like, not doing that. Because, like, I'll get injured, have a hip operation, and I'm bike riding with the left leg the 2 days later. Like, I'm just going back at it. And so the difference is now that you're going to tell yourself it's okay to slip up and fall and get an accident and get injured. But what's not okay is just giving up.
Giving a fat guy junk food is like giving a heroin addict just a little smidgen of heroin. You're like, to you, if you did just a little bit of heroin, it would probably not change your life. But when he does it, it's like, well, it's in my system again, so I'm going to start doing it again forever.
And so for me, all the junk foods and stuff, because, like, trust me, I can eat ice cream with the best of them. If we had an all-you-can-eat ice cream contest, I think I'm winning. Like, I think I got them. But what I did is I stopped buying it. I don't have it in the house. And so what I do is I replace all these delicious foods like chips. I won't buy them. I won't buy fuzzy peaches. I won't buy the candies. I just won't. Because once you start eating it, it's like a drug, as he's describing. And trust me, when you start doing some drugs, it's hard to stop. You want to keep doing them because the dopamine release is so strong. And so with food and trying to replace all these crazy, delicious, highly palatable foods, like I will not eat a Haagen-Dazs. Like, why would I do that? But I'll have a Greek yogurt ice cream bar. And so I think the key is replacing these absolutely delicious foods with other foods. Not saying you can never eat them, but don't have them in the house. Don't make it easy. Just like you can get drunk, but don't have all the alcohol and have it in front of you every day if you're an alcoholic. Keep it away. Have it away occasionally. And if you do get drunk and you do this, well, that's okay. But the next day, don't do it again and realize you can, in fact, do better.
I find that keeping a sort of mantra or a thought in your head to just keep repeating over and over again, this thought of like a future life in which you have the things that you want and you are the person you want to be, is really good. Like a while ago, I went to a therapist and she had me do a visualization of my perfect future, and in it, I wasn't fat. I was living in high-rise apartment in a major city, and I was far away from the person I was and am now, and just keeping the idea of that person that I saw in that visualization of the future just buzzing around in my head, and constantly keeping it in my mind that every step I take should be a step towards being that guy is what keeps me going.
Yeah, so it's really thinking about that goal and like just not forgetting about it like you did with the laptop. Like if you get into the laptop and you just forget about the goal of like getting this great physique or improvements, and if you just forget about that goal, then it's like, why am I doing this? But if you keep reminding yourself of that, then it gets a lot better.
There are some apartment buildings that have like a pool, like on like the ground floor, and I visualized living in an apartment building with that. So what I like to say is like, I'm going to the pool. I'm going to the pool. Like anytime I think about like eating like a thing of Ben and Jerry's, I'm like, no, that's gonna get me further away from the pool. I'm going to the pool. So I put it back in the freezer. I don't buy it. Or
how much is hunger, and I mean like hunger, like physical hunger, a factor in your weight loss? Like how much of not losing weight, or how much led of being over 500 pounds at one point, how much of that is because you're like physically hungry, and how much of it is just like, it just tastes so good, I just want to eat? Like the difference between those two, like I really, for me, it's not the audience, like I want to know that.
I think most of it is just like not hunger, but it's just mindlessly shoveling salt and sugar into my mouth. When I had the laptop, I was always just watching YouTube or Netflix or Disney Plus and just shoveling endless amounts of chips and chocolate and whatnot, because that's just what added more dopamine. And I was like the rat that sits in its cage and just presses the dopamine button over and over again until it dies.
And does it take like a tremendous amount of this food to get to the point of like, I'm too full to want to eat? Or do you eat like, because how many of you have gone to the buffet and just ate like the extra plate that you shouldn't have, and you're like sitting in pain? Like every time I eat out with my girlfriend, she's like, yeah, I'm so full. She'll be in pain and she eats, and then she eats dessert because the dessert is so good, and she just keeps eating. And I'm like, you don't need two meat. Allie will order 2 mains and dessert, and I'm like, that's more than I order, and I'm like a big guy, but she just shovels it in pain. Like, would you eat to that point? Like you're eating and you're full and in pain, and you keep eating because the taste is so good.
I think I've done that every single time I've gone to a buffet, but I didn't really do that when I was there. I would go until like I would feel myself being like uncomfortably, like on the border of uncomfortably full. Then I would just fold up the bag and throw it to the other side of the couch. And I like send things through fairly fast, so I just had to wait 20 minutes and then I could just start shoveling it in my mouth again.
Versus if I eat at a buffet and I've eaten way too much food, and 5 hours later I'm still in pain. Like once I'm full, like I do these 10,000 calorie challenges, and I'll eat, and then I'll wait like 4 hours later, and I'm like, like it's almost like I'm just as full. I have a hard time keeping eating, but I can eat a lot of food in one sitting. But like in 2 and 3 sittings, I can't eat that much more. Like I could probably eat 10,000 calories in 30 minutes, but I couldn't eat 20,000 calories in a whole day. But you probably could just eat the ton in the 30 minutes, and then 30 minutes later, it's like, okay, now I can have more. So I think the point I'm trying to make is like, we all have different like hunger cues. And like for me, if I'm not hungry, I find it easy to lose weight because like I don't have the desire to eat. But if I'm hungry, like when I diet for bodybuilding, I'm always starving. I always want to eat. Even if I'm eating my low calorie meals and whatnot, I still, even after I'm full, I still want to eat because my body's sending so many ghrelin signals to just like eat. But if you can get the food out of your sight, because you're saying the bag of chips and you're throwing it away, if you can keep it out of sight, out of mind, or yeah, is that the saying? Out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, a lot less likely to eat. But when the chips are right there and you're watching, it's like if I had chips here, I would want to eat it. Like even I would, and I have less cravings than most people.
I had this trick I used to do. There's this spooky part in my apartment that I don't like going to, so if I bought junk food and then I regret buying it, I would go deep into the spooky part of the basement, and I would throw the bag of chips way far back so that I would have to be in the spooky part of the basement and really work at it to get the junk food.
Yeah, like I've told people, like I've coached parents with kids, and I'm like, put the junk, like you gotta have it now. Okay, if you gotta have it, put it in the garage, then you got to put your boots on, get your jacket on, you got to walk over. And if you want it so bad that you're willing to go out to the garage and get it, you probably needed it. But if it's sitting on your frigging countertop, the chocolate bar, every time you look at it, you have to tell yourself, I don't want to eat it. So why would you present yourself with this? If you have ice cream in the deep freeze, I say, put it behind the frozen peas. Like, don't see it, because Once you see it, your brain has to say, don't eat it. And just think, we've evolved to be like this. If you're in the wilderness and you came across a patch of blueberries or strawberries, your body's going to say, stop and eat that. Because you're not an idiot, because food is for survival. So you're programmed to want to eat. So stop showing yourself all these foods, because your body's going to make you want to eat it. And why would you want to use willpower? Willpower is fleeting. So I think that's enough question, but is there any other maybe tips or things you want to talk about or mention or anything?
Just keep in mind that every day you should be walking towards the ideal person that you want to be. And I think you out there in the world should take some time to do that visualization that I did in therapy and imagine your perfect future, your perfect self. What do you look like physically? Are you in a committed relationship? What kind of house do you live in? Is there a pool there? How much money do you have? What do you do for a job? And, having that in mind, having a place that you are going towards helps keep, a goal more in focus. Working your way towards something consistently for the rest of your life is what's going to keep you on one steady path, instead of just being like loosey-goosey. Well, I'm just trying to lose weight. I'm just eating less. I'm going to work out more, going to eat less. Just saying that. You should really have a goal in mind and stay committed to it. And you can switch up the goal, like just little things, but you should try to keep it pretty stable.
I know in university and whatnot, we were always taught to write down short and long-term goals. And it sounds like he's saying, like, by maybe not even written down, but you actually are thinking of it and you concentrate on that. And I'm going through my goals, and I'm like, I've literally done what he's done my whole life to get to where I'm at. And so, like, my goals now, I want to keep this. I don't want to lose it. I want to keep my health and my fitness and my job and the videos. I just want to keep doing that. And I can't just sit back. And a lot of my friends are, why don't you just retire? Like, why are you doing all this? Because I like it. They get dopamine from it. Like, everything is like, I'm not just going to sit back and watch Netflix and chill and just retire. I could easily do that, but that wouldn't make me happy. I'm happy doing this. And so if he's going to have happiness from losing weight, searching for his goals, he's much more likely to get to his goal and enjoy the ride. And so how do you follow this guy?
So if you want to follow me, you can check out Brentley G on basically any platform. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and I have pretty stable branding, so you can find me there. Come check me out. It's a good time. Wholesome, positive weight loss.
Absolutely. And so follow his journey, join the bandwagon, join it, do what he's doing, stay motivated. Hopefully you can watch his channel, stay motivated. When he gets his results, he'll show them. Hopefully you can follow his journey and do the same thing for yourself. Whether you have 250 pounds to lose or 25 pounds, it doesn't matter. The Rock knows. Just do the best you can do. And as I always say, halfway there. You don't need to be perfect. This is not about getting single-digit body fat. Maybe he wants it, but that's not important. What's important is just being better. So looking for the cookbook, the training books, the Circle Diet book, My Life's Work, How to Lose Weight and Keep It Off for the Rest of your life. It might take you 6 hours. Trust me, if you read that, you're going to know more than 99% of YouTubers on how to lose weight. So please get the books. Use code Greg, 10% off. And remember, I offer coaching plans by me and my team. Watch the 2 bloops over there. And until next time, we're out.